everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, something a little different. I've had several of my friends request that I start posting more about kind of the garden I have in the backyard. Now, mind you, I just want to make sure everyone understands I am not a professional by any way, shape, or form when it comes to gardening. I just like to do it. It's very relaxing to me, and I do have a lot of like veggies, and my strawberry plants are supposed to arrive today as well, so I'm super excited. And I just like to see what I can grow. So I'm starting this playlist. It's gonna be let's grow something together, okay? So that is what I'm starting this year. I totally forgot I was doing this. So I started a lot of my seeds last week and I did all that. So I'll show you in my shed what I have going on. Unfortunately, I didn't record that. Sorry. But I did want to start with this video then. So another thing I'm trying to do, of course, being budget friendly, because gardening can be expensive if right off the bat you go and you just, buy really expensive things, right? Which I think we've all seen that eating healthy sometimes is more expensive when it comes to money, but in the long run, it's less expensive, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, I want to make sure that I have budget-friendly gardening tips, videos, that sort of thing. So this is what I'm using in this video. So Dollar Tree has these 3-tier planters, right? And they're stackable. So I will say this, they are smaller than the ones they used to sell before. The ones they used to sell before were a bit wider here, but they are very sturdy, okay? So I'm using some of these, and then what I'm gonna do in this stackable planter is, so I'm gonna do all my bush beans. So I'm a little odd when it comes to organization. I have my very strict ways of organizing some things, and others it's just chaotic. Fortunately, when it comes to gardening, it's the first. So I'm very strict on organizing when it comes to my gardening materials. So this is where I keep all my seeds, all right? This is actually meant to be photograph organization, like pictures. So this is a big bin, and for me, as you can see, I labeled spring and summer, although my seed collection has expanded so much that I have to change that because now I have everything in alphabetical order. So inside, you will find these little boxes. And for me, like, I don't have any A's, so I don't know. Oh, because I used to have asparagus seeds, but asparagus don't do very well in my area. So I am in zone 9A. So just so that y'all know, you have a better idea of which zone I'm working with. Our spring is like you blink and it's gone. And then you get into scorching hot weather. So all of my gardening happens either in a raised bed or in pots, because not only is it so hot in the summer, our soil is horrible. It's literally maybe at most 4 inches. No, I would say like 6 inches of soil, which is not the greatest. And then you hit rock. It is really, really bad. So you have to either do a raised bed and fill that with, you know, good soil, or use planters, pots. And that's what I do. So that's why when I saw the Dollar Tree had these, again, I immediately went and got those. So for my seeds, I keep them in these. I do not store my seeds outside. I do not keep them in the shed, because you'll see when we get out there that my shed, we moved the location, and when we moved it, we dismantled the whole thing, and part of that was dismantling the roof. When we did that, it was a shingled roof and it was a whole hassle. So when we moved it, I also made the decision to put a clear roof on it because I wanted to use it like sort of a greenhouse. It serves its purpose, like for seed starting and to protect plants whenever I need to. I can move plants in there, but obviously it's not a true greenhouse where, you know, the sides are also clear and sun can come in through all the areas, all the sides to help the plants. So I really just use it for seed starting and then to just protect plants. But as to my seeds, I keep them in my crafting closet because it is not outside. There's no heat, there's no moisture, and I'm sorry if you hear that. Those are the planes that pass by the house. So there's no heat, there's no sunlight, there's no moisture, and that's really what you want to do with your seeds. You do not want to keep them anywhere where those factors come into play. Heat, moisture, sunlight will make your seeds sprout because that's what they want, right? So here are the two little cases that came in that big case. Like I said, normally these are used for like keeping pictures, keeping scrapbooking stuff. I use them to keep my seeds, and I keep them in alphabetical order. So that's just my thing. And very important, when you're doing beans in these containers, I'm doing bush beans. So you have your vine type of beans and then you have your bush beans. Because these are stacked, I don't want like a hot mess of vines all around where I can't even water it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do bush beans. Bush beans basically means it grows to a certain height and then it bushes out. And then you have your beans hanging from it. So I think that's a great option for these containers. I have, for example, the Botanical Interest Blue Lake 274. It's a bush bean. So there's that, and this is Botanical Interest, y'all. But you can also go to the Dollar Tree and get the Bush Lake 274 bean. Oh, focus. There you go. And these are four for $1. They're gonna have less beans in them, right? But you don't need a ton. So when I say, seeds, I have a mixture of, pretty decent prices for beans. I love Botanical Interests. That's primarily where I get my seeds, either there, Home Depot, or the Dollar Tree. Home Depot, I only get them when they're on sale. And Dollar Tree, they're four for $1. You just have to make sure to go now because even now a lot of their seeds might be out. So we're gonna be doing Blue Lake 274. We're gonna be doing Contender right there. And you see it says Bush right there. And that's how you know that it's a bush bean. Let me find one that's not. I think I have something in here. And again, that was my Botanical Interest, but Dollar Tree carries these as well, the Contender. I have the Cherokee Wax, and that is, I believe this one is also Dollar Tree. Yeah. And then we will have the French fillet, which is also a bush bean, and this is botanical interest. We will also be doing the Ferrari, the Gold Rush, and I have some Gold Rush organic as well. Okay, here's where we go. So I will not be doing this one. This is the Kentucky Wonder, and it's a pole bean. So that is a big one that you should look out for. Like if it says a pole, then it means it's gonna go up. Like it needs, to me, the way I remember it, it needs a pole for support. And then bush beans, it will tell you. So this is a tender green improve, which is from Dollar Tree. We'll be doing that one. And then the last one will be the top crop bush bean. And this is also a Dollar Tree one. So you see, you can have pretty inexpensive seeds, and I've used Dollar Tree seeds before and I've had a great germination rate with them. So I'm not afraid to use them and they've been good. So now let me take you outside, and I'm going to try to film and use the audio that I have from, being outside. I will warn you though, we are located right by the flight path for airplanes to a military base. So that doesn't work sometimes when I'm trying to record things outside, but just bear with me and we'll get it. We'll make it happen. See you out there. So here is the shed I was talking about. A couple of years ago, we moved it over, and as you will see, we put these clear panels. These have been awesome. I do have to spray them down to clean them out. These are all my little gardening supplies. I have a fan, an exhaust fan right there in the back. We installed that. And then I have a regular box fan so that we can have air circulation. Here you can see my gardening little wagon. And these are all the seeds I started already. I put them in trays, water trays, and then I can water them more easily. But as you can see, I have some okra, some basil, peppermint, peppers. I have squash, and I label everything, y'all, because you think you're going to remember, but trust me, you will not. And what helps me is I can put them in these little cups that I got from Dollar Tree. They are, I believe, 12 for $1, and they're very inexpensive. As you can see, here's my exhaust fan. We have it set up so that there's air circulation, because again, it gets very hot here in the summer. And I have all the seeds under the clear panels right there on the shelf. Now I do share this with my boyfriend and all of his stuff, so I always blame the unorganization on him. So yep, there's my shed. And there's whiskey, little whiskey. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do drainage holes. And you're gonna do that with I'm using a 1/8 drill bit. So these already have designated holes, but I'm gonna drill like a lot more here and here and here, because the key is proper drainage. So let's do that to all of them. So here I started by drilling the preset holes as well, but then I switched over to punching them out because using the drill bit, it gave me a really small hole and I didn't want that. So if you just pop the pre-cut holes like I'm doing there, it's a lot easier. And then you just add the little extra holes in the center of each little pot and in the gaps. That's what I decided to do, and I think it was a lot easier. Now the big thing like I'm doing here is I'm flipping them over and making sure that I take out those little plastic circles that are left behind when you punch out the holes, because if you don't, you run the risk of them closing up the hole again once you put your soil in, and you don't want that. You want to make sure you have proper drainage. You do not want your bush beans sitting in, like pooled water. You're going to have a root rot if you do that. But yeah, I just did it for all of these containers. Now I will say do it one by one because we tried doing just a stack and just drilling through all of them, and the ones in the bottom cracked and we couldn't use them. So just heads up on that. And here we go. We are finishing up the last one. All right, so I have 8 of these, and I'm going to see how many packets I have because I don't know if I have enough. So let's count the different ones that we're going to plant. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I have 2, 4, 6, 8. So I'm gonna need, maybe I'll mix these then. I'll mix these two, and that way I have enough. So next what I need to do is fill this up with soil and then plant my green beans. Now I've seen some people that will cut this portion out and put like an upside down 2 liter plastic bottle, like a soda water type of thing. They cut out the top, they put it, top down, and it helps with irrigation. But I'm gonna try it out this year with just soil, and I did put extra holes down below so the water can go down, but I'm also going to be very good about watering. Famous last words, right? You do want your soil pretty high here on the edges. Just make sure that this fits nicely there when it connects, because you definitely do not want your seeds being so low that they don't get any sunlight, because remember, they need sunlight to grow. I'm gonna do the blue lake on this layer, and I'm thinking, I don't know which my top layer is going to be yet, so I'm thinking the one that I'm doing, the regular and the organic, that way I have more room to plant those. So that will be my top layer. So I'm going to put 2 plants in each place. So I'm gonna do 2 holes. And again, I want them further over here because I want them to grow up before they start going sideways when I put all of these together. You definitely don't want anything blocking your seed from sprouting and your little seedling to be able to make it up to the surface. This is what these seeds look like, and you're just going to put 1 in each. Now I do use labels, and I will use labels for each tier, but for now I'm just going to put them like that so that I know which one has which seed. I'm going to do the same for all of those, and I'll come back when I have those ready. Now, I know a big question is like what type of soil. Honestly, y'all, I just use regular potting soil mix that I get from my local Walmart. I know I'm planting organic ones here. I'm not using any type of organic soil or anything like that. You can totally do that to make sure your produce is organic, but I'm just using regular soil. Gold Rush. So originally I was only going to do 1 of these for the organic and the non-organic of these, but I managed to get another one of these little 3 stackable pots, and so I'm gonna dedicate this whole one to this, and I'm gonna make this my top layer so I can get several of these. Okay, and here I went back and made sure that all the compartments were full of soil and there was a pretty even layer, because since I'm putting more plants on this one, I want to make sure there's enough soil for all the plants. And I just think it's going to look really pretty with the top layer, hopefully, crossing my fingers, having all those golden pods hanging from the plants like a big gold arrangement at the very top. So I'm excited for having the golden pots be the stellar ones on top. Okay, and now I am reusing these. I used them before. I'm just turning them around, and I'm putting what I'm planting in here. So for these, it'll be Gold Rush Organic. I'm putting the date that I'm planting them. And for me, I put the growth or the germination days, so 6 to 12 days for this one, and then I put the harvest, which is 54 days to maturity. So that gives me an idea to check on, and I just put this like right there. So this gives me an idea for me to check this pot. It's the 19th. Check it between 6 to 12 days if these are going to sprout. If I see that they haven't, then I can plant another seed in there. Again, these I'm reusing, but if you don't have any, go to your local Dollar Tree and they have these. They're 10 for $1.25. Really nice and useful. And I mean, 10 of them for $1.25 I thought was really good. Again, I'm just reusing those on these pots right here. But I have a lot of stuff, as you saw in my shed, that I use these for. Okay guys, so I have put them all on the ground there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave them like that until they sprout and we have a little bit of growth, and then I'm gonna stack them because I don't want to stack them right now and then run the chance of them not getting enough sun so that they can start growing. So what I'm gonna do right now is just water them and leave them there. Okay, and for this, I would highly recommend that you use a mister just so that the water can soak in really good. Give it a good watering, not too hard, so that the seeds don't move all over the place, and you should be set. And here you have it, folks. Here are all the stackable planters with the bush beans planted and labeled and watered, ready to go. Just waiting for that sun to hit so they can start growing. Okay, and that is everything we did. Again, using the Dollar Tree supplies, so very cost effective. You can get more of these, and as you can see, I got more because I still have to do an herb tower, so stay tuned for that. And I'll definitely be using these Dollar Tree little plant labels for the herbs when I do this other one. So those I did I started those little seeds indoors, and those are the ones that you saw. Well, some of those are some of the ones you saw in the shed. And once those little seedlings are a good size, then I will repot them on this tower, like these containers, and I'll label them with these. Yeah, what are your thoughts about this playlist on this channel? Let me know if it's something that you're interested. And I'm so sorry, I know you hear that. That's my neighbor flying a drone, so sorry about the noise. But yeah, let me know what else in gardening you would like to see. I do have indoor plants as well, and I will need to pot some of those soon because we got some more. And I also do a little bit more reviews of the items that we are getting for indoor and outdoor stuff. So maybe I'll do some shorts of like what soil I'm using, how I mix it, garden bed soil versus potting soil, and that type of stuff. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and down below, and also tips and tricks that you might have for gardening. Just comment below, because like I said, I am not a professional. I don't claim to be a professional, so just let me know. All right, appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.